Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Muhammad Riza. I am from Group 4. Our topic of discussion for today is from understanding titles to planning. I will brought to you the first material, and my friends Valen, Alka, Bilal, Ananda, and Dito Renatus will take care of the rest. Now, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So, the first material is going to be the importance of a good title in research. A title is arguably the most important part of any written work because it serves as the identity of that work. It often is the first thing that the editors, reviewers, and readers see. Additionally, the title appears on the content page in scientific journals, acting as a gateway for people searching for research papers. A strong title should grab the reader's attention, making it memorable and encouraging them to read more. In contrast, a weak title can lower the reader's expectation and negatively affect their perception of the research, no matter how good it is. So, what makes for a good title? Well, the first important thing to note that a title should be informative. As Cynthia Weisel suggests in her research in mid-1980s, titles have shifted towards being more concrete and specific. The reason for this is partly because of the rise of online searches for research papers, leading authors to use keywords that makes it stand out and help people find their work more easily. For instance, instead of searching for the general term like research, someone might look for something more specific, like maybe medical research or health research, the result of which should come up on the search tab of that search engine. And the second is concise. A title that is too long or confusing can discourage readers from engaging with your work. As Dewan Puya states, if the title is too long and complicated, it may put off some readers. So generally, it is a good rule of thumb to aim for about a 10 to 12 words to clearly convey what your work is about. To make a title concise, avoid unnecessary or confusing phrases. However, be careful. A title cannot be too brief as well. If it is too vague, it might not provide any necessary context regarding the content of the paper, leaving the details too broad, and many people would just skip your work entirely. And the third and the final step to make your titles better is to avoid abbreviation. A good title usually avoids abbreviation or acronyms. This can confuse readers who might not know what they mean, potentially leading them to disregard your work entirely. As Dewan Puya again noted, take this title for example: Diagnosis of ARF in Children. Here, ARF could stand for either acute renal failure or acute rheumatic fever, which may not be clear to all readers. Therefore, it is best to avoid abbreviations in titles. I think that is all for my part of the explanation. The rest will be brought to you by my partner.
Alright, so let's talk about the writing planning process. Writing is actually a goal-oriented activity. So before we even begin, it's really important to set clear goals. This was pointed out way back in 1986 by Hayes and Flower, and it's still super relevant today. Sebelum kita mulai menulis, punya ide yang jelas tentang apa yang ingin kita tulis itu akan membuat proses menulis itu lebih mudah. Jadi instead of just diving in and hoping for the best, we should know what we're aiming for. We can focus our thoughts and organize our ideas much more effectively. So let's dive into the first step, analyzing titles. This is especially useful for exams or coursework because understanding exactly what the task is asking for is crucial. And a great way to start is by carefully analyzing the title. Doing this early on can help us create a solid plan for our assignment, making sure we're actually answering the main questions directly. Plus, it can save us some time and energy. Kemudian, ketika menganalize title, when analyzing a title, there are two main things to focus on. Yang pertama itu ada keywords and phrases. These are the key parts of the title that give us hints about the topic and what to focus on. By identifying these keywords, we can narrow down our research and make sure we're gathering relevant resources instead of getting lost in unrelated information. Terus poin berikutnya ada different types of titles. So not all titles work the same way. Here are a few common ones we might come across. Yang pertama ada question titles. Contohnya kayak how does social media impact interpersonal relationships. Nah, title ini directly asking a question. Jadi, so our job is to provide a focused, informative response. And usually we'll need to analyze or think critically about the topic. Next, we have combination titles. Contohnya kayak is artificial intelligence a threat to humanity? Combination titles ini combines a statement with a question. It encourages us to explore the topic but also to think critically about it. And the last one is comment titles. For example, compare and contrast the leadership styles of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. This title gives us specific instructions on what to do, guiding us on exactly what task we need to complete. And we'll often see these titles in exams or structured assignments. And that's it for analyzing titles. My name is Valen Alka with ID number 147. I would like to say thank you for your attention, and the rest will be explained by my friend Dito Renatus. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Dito Renatus with ID number A121-22-146. And today I would like to explain about brainstorm. So brainstorm is where we just think freely and write down any ideas that comes to mind about the topic. So you don't have to worry if the idea seems random or strange at first, because the goal is basically to come up with as many ideas as we can. And the idea of brainstorming was made popular by a man named Alex Osborne. He believed that brainstorming helps us be more creative, especially when we do it in groups. He also set up a few rules to make sure the brainstorming process works well. Okay, so the first rule is no one is allowed to criticize or judge the ideas. And second is we can build on each other's suggestions. And third is crazy or wild ideas are welcome because they might lead to something useful. And the last rule is the more ideas we have, the better. So now I will explain about outline. So once we have done brainstorming and pick our topic, the next thing we have to do is to make an outline. An outline is basically a plan for how we are going to write the essay. It's like a guide that shows what each paragraph will talk about and how all the parts of the essay fit together. And why is outlining is helpful? So first is it helps us organize our thoughts and make sure everything we write supports our main idea or thesis. And second is outlining let us test out our ideas without having to write long paragraph right away. It's like more quicker and give us clear direction. And finally, an outline help us to see the big pictures of the essay, making sure it answers the assignment's questions clearly and makes sense from start to the finish. So before jumping to writing, making a good outline can save us time and help us write better essays. Thank you.
In conclusion, to complete a written assignment successfully, we need to plan carefully, set clear goals, and take a thoughtful approach. A good title shapes the reader's first impression and helps them understand your research. It's important to analyze the title to stay focused on the main question. Brainstorming generates ideas, and outlining helps organize them logically. By setting goals, analyzing the title, brainstorming, and outlining, you can create clear and effective writing that meets the assignment's requirements and engages the reader. So that is all our presentation from Group 4 about understanding titles to planning. I would close this by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.